Hello, all. So, today I'm going to share with you a letter written by Swami Vivekananda, and this letter is part of the four-volume series recently published by the Advaita Ashrama. Recently means it is in the month of March, it was published, I remember. So, these are the original unedited letters of Swami Vivekananda. The book looks like this. So, this is the first volume, and there are four such volumes. So I bought it, I remember, on March 31st, shortly after it was published from Jogodhan. Came to know of this from some of the sessions I keep attending of the RKM, Ramakrishna Mission centers around the world. And I came to know that this is a new publication with the original unedited letters of Swami Vivekananda, all the letters in chronological order. So what I came to know that earlier most of these letters were published, but maybe they were mm, not the full content. Some content was obscured because of some reasons, but now this is the full unedited letters and in chronological order. So when I was reading this, I was quite moved and stirred because these contain the feelings of Swami Vivekananda, how he was feeling as he went through the entire journey from the time his Mahaguru Sri Ramakrishna passed away. Right? And because in those days there was no telephone communication, no other means. So the letter writing was the main mode of communication. So he is writing letters to various known and unknown persons, his fellow brothers of fellow monks, and all these things are there. So I thought, why not share reading some of these letters because I have shared various things on my channel, some instrumentals, some songs, but now this will be something very interesting, something which we should all know. So, this volume, the first volume, on the cover page, the quill pen and the ink pot depicted on the cover were used by Swami Vivekananda and are now preserved at the Belur Math Museum. So, this is the one handwriting of Swami Vivekananda. This is how he used to write, and this ink pot and the pen is actually now preserved in Belur Math. On the back of the page, it's written these words. I can read it. Arise, awake, great Lord, great Lord. He is at our back. I cannot write any more. Onward. I only tell you this, that whoever reads this letter will imbibe my spirit. I am a voice without a form. It may be that I shall find it good to get outside my body, to cast it off like a worn out garment, but I shall not cease to work. I shall inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that it is one with God. Swami Vivekananda. It's part of one of his letters, I don't know which one. Say on the back page. And in the first page, inside cover, there is a short note. I'll read that also. Lord's blessings on you all. His power be in you all, as I believe it is already. Awake up, stop not until the goal is reached, says the Vedas. Up, up, the long night is breaking, the day is approaching. The wave has risen, nothing will be able to resist its tidal fury. Do not be sorry, do not despond if I am slow in writing. Writing, scribbling, no use on earth. The spirit, my boys, the spirit, the love, my children, the love, the faith, the belief, and fear not, the greatest sin is fear. Swami Vivekananda. So that is in the cover page inside. So with that, I'll come to the letter. Of course, I cannot read all the letters. Some of the letters which I find very moving, I'm reading that. So this particular letter is written on 26th May 1890 to a person called Sri Pramoda Das Mitra, and of course I missed introducing Swami Vivekananda. So because this is to go on a YouTube channel, there could be listeners who do not know. The Swami Vivekananda was the founder of the Ramakrishna order of monks in somewhere around 1895 or 96. Okay, and he was the foremost disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, and this Ramakrishna mission is operative all over the world now. And Sri Ramakrishna, whoever doesn't know can look up on the web, was one of the saints and one of the God realized persons, we can say, of the 19th century, passed away in 1886. And so that is it. And with that, I will start reading the letter. So this letter is written to Sri Pramodadas Mitra on 26th May 1890 from 57 Ramakanta Bose Street, Bagbazar, Calcutta. Now, before reading the letter, we should know who Sri Pramodadas Mitra is. So there is a series of letter to Pramodadas Mitra, and at the beginning of that it is written who Sri Pramodadas Mitra was. Sri Pramodadas Mitra, 1850 to 1901, was a Sanskrit scholar and Zamindar of Benares, Varanasi. During the wandering days of the monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, his garden house in Benares served as their retreat. In early 1887, Swami Akhandananda spent about a month there before visiting Ajodhya. Through him, Pramodadas Mitra learnt about Swamiji, and their acquaintance developed into a friendship and mutual admiration. Sri Mitra composed the hymn Sri Ramakrishna Shatkam. Here begins a series of letters written to Pramodadas Mitra of Benares. These letters reflect a critical period in Swamiji's life, when the pervading gloom of his master's disappearance from the earth and the magnitude of the divine trust imposed by him on his life were weighing heavily on his soul. He was obviously in deep uncertainty and suspense about the great opening from within and without that was to lead him to the fulfillment of his master's trust. His mighty mind, in a faithful attitude of waiting and self preparation, moved with a powerful swing that gathered strength with repeated obstructions towards the life of the wandering monk. So, that is the introduction of Sri Pramodadas Mitra. He was a wealthy person in Benares, and what kind of a person he was, it can be understood even more better with a picture of this bottom picture is his mansion in Benares. There is a picture of his mansion in Benares. So from that we can understand, and he was a Sanskrit scholar also. So now we come to the letter which I am trying to read. So, very moving letter written on 26th May 1890. Pujya Padasu means my respected sir. I write to you while amidst a vortex of many untoward incidents and agitation of the mind. After praying to Lord Vishwanath and evaluating the reasonability and possibility or impossibility of all this as follows. Please oblige me with your reply. And there are points. Point number one. I have told you at the beginning that I am a servant of Ramakrishna. Deho Tulsi Til Deho Samarpit. Which means I lay my body at his feet with Til and Tulsi leaves. So, by this, using this Bengali adage, Swamiji conveyed his total surrender to Ramakrishna. I have laid my life at his feet, that is what it means. I cannot disregard his behest. If that wonderful man, after having led a life of tremendous sacrifices, renunciation, purity, and extreme austerities for long 40 years, and even after attaining the superhuman heights of jnana, knowledge, bhakti, devotion, prema, divine love, and vibhuti, supernatural powers, passed away unfulfilled, then what hope could he have? Therefore, I am obliged to trust his words as those of one having supreme authority. His behest to me, number two, his behest to me was that I should devote myself to the service of the order of all renouncing monks founded by him. And in this task, whatever is to happen will happen, and I am ready to accept heaven or hell or salvation, come what may. Number three, his command was that his all renouncing monastic disciples should stay together, and I am entrusted with this responsibility. Of course, it doesn't matter if any one of them goes out on visits to this place or that, but those should only be visits. His own opinion was that random wandering suited only him who is Purna Siddha, fully perfected. Until that state is attained, one should settle somewhere and plunge into spiritual practice. When all notions of the body and the like go away by themselves, then only then and only then can a person remain in whatever state may occur to him. Otherwise, constant wandering is harmful to a novice aspirant in spiritual practice. Now, it is to be noted that Swami Vivekananda is talking about the first group of 18, I think, disciples which are directly initiated by Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna entrusted Swami Vivekananda to take care of them. He had many householder disciples also, Sri Ramakrishna. So, number 4, therefore, in pursuance of that commandment, his sannyasin, in bracket, monastic disciples are now residing together in an old dilapidated house at Baranagar, and two of his lay disciples, Suresh Chandra Mitro and Balaram Bosu, had been providing for their food and house rent. So, this old dilapidated house at Baranagar was the first place where these monks were living, and they started their journey, spiritual journey, after the passing of Sri Ramakrishna, and is preserved now as an important center of RKM and as a museum. Anybody can go and see that in Varanagar. And same way, Balaram Bashu's house also is now a very important center of Ramakrishna Mission, and I am fortunate enough to have taken the spiritual mantra initiation, mantra diksha at this house under Swami Divanandaji. That was in last year, April of 24. So these two people, Suresh Chandra Mitra and Balaram Bosu, had been providing for their food and house rent. The mortal coil, number 5, the mortal coil of Bhagavan Ramakrishna had to be consigned to flames for various reasons. That is, due to the strange oppressive law of the Christian king. So when it's written Christian king, there's a footnote. India was then under the British rule. There is no doubt that this act was very improper. Number 3, in Hinduism, the physical body of a spiritually illumined soul is regarded as sacred and divinized. In earlier days, the mortal coil were not consigned to flames. The remains of his ashes are now preserved, and if they are properly enshrined somewhere on the banks of the Ganga, perhaps we shall be free from that great sin to some extent. Those sacred remains, his seat and his picture, are fittingly worshipped daily in our mott. And you are aware that one of my Guru Bhai, Ramkrishnananda, who is of Brahmin birth, is dedicated to the task day and night. The expenses of the worship also used to be borne by the two great souls mentioned above. Next para, number 6. He by whose birth our Bengali race has been sanctified and the land of Bengal has become hallowed. He who came to redeem the Indians, deluded by the glamour of the Western world, and he who therefore chose most of his all-renouncing disciples from university men. What can be of greater regret that no memorial could yet be raised in this land of Bengal, in the very neighborhood of the place where he lived his life of sadhana, spiritual practice. So he is expressing his anguish that he is not able to build a memorial in the name of Sri Ramakrishna. Today we see this huge Belur Mott, we go there, spend the afternoon. We can't even imagine this condition, right? So after Sri Ramakrishna passed away, they are somehow surviving in the dilapidated building called Baranagar Mott. And two of his Ramakrishna's householder disciples are taking care of the expenses. The two gentlemen mentioned above had the earnest desire to have some land bought on the banks of the Ganga so that his sacred relics could be enshrined, and his disciples also could live together there. Suresh Babu had given a sum of rupees 1,000 for the purpose and promised to give more. But owing to the inscrutable will of God, he left this world last night. You already know about Balaram Babu's death. Sri Surendranath Mitro Suresh died of dropsy on 25th May 1890, and Sri Balaram Basu died of influenza on 13th April 1890. So both of them has passed away. Number 8, next para. At this juncture, his disciples are very uncertain about where they will go with his seat and sacred relics. You know well the people, within bracket, you know well the people of Bengal are tall talkers and do not proceed with actions. They, the disciples, are sannyasins and are ready to go anywhere they like forthwith. But this servant of theirs is in terrible agony. And my heart is breaking to think that a small piece of land could not be acquired to enshrine the relics of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So this is a picture on the opposite page. The bottom is the Baranagar Mount, dilapidated building as it was at that time, and these are the monk brothers who are staying there. In the middle is Swami Vivekananda. Number 9. It is impossible to secure a piece of land and build a temple near Calcutta with a sum of rupees 1000. It requires at least 5 to 7,000 rupees. So, 1000 rupees we can understand. 125 years back, the value was much, much higher than what we can think, imagine now. So, he's telling, but even that is not enough. At least 5 to 7,000 rupees is required to secure a piece of land and build a temple. You are now the only friend and patron of number 10. You are only the now the only friend and patron of Sri Ramakrishna's disciples. Your fame, position, and circle of acquaintances are extensive in the Western region. I am praying that you, if you desire, consider whether it is proper for you to accomplish this work by raising subscriptions from well to do pious men known to you in your region. If you deem it proper to have a memorial for Bhagavan Ramakrishna and a shelter for his disciples on the banks of the Ganga in Bengal, I shall promptly report to you once I receive your consent. And I have not the slightest hesitation to beg from door to door for this noble cause and the sake of my master and his children. After proper deliberation and after praying to Lord Vishwanath, please consider this matter. In my view, if all these sincere, learned, and youthful sannyasis born in good families are unable to realize the ideal bhava of Sri Ramakrishna due to a lack of shelter and support, how pitiable is the fate of our country. Number 11. If you ask, you are a sannyasin, why do you have all these desires? Then I would say I am Ramakrishna's servant, and to establish his name in the land of his birth and sadhana, and to help his disciples even a little in their attempt to bring into practice his great ideals. If I would even have to steal and rob, I would be ready for it. I consider you to be my closest kin, hence I told you everything. It is for this reason that I have returned to Calcutta, as I have already informed you, and now you may do what you think is best. So think of Swami Vivekananda's agony. He is telling, I am prepared to steal and rob also, to create a memorial for my Guru, and a place where all the brother monks can stay and continue his work. If you say that it is number 12, you say that it is better to do so after coming to some place like Kashi, then as I have told you, it would be a great misfortune if the memorial could not be raised in the land of his birth and sadhana. The condition of Bengal is indeed miserable. The people here do not think even in dreams what renunciation is. Only luxury, sensuality, and selfishness are eating into the vitals of this race. May the Lord bestow renunciation and unworldliness upon this land. I believe that the people in the western provinces, especially the wealthy, have great zeal for noble causes like this, whereas the people here have nothing. Please reply whatever you decide. Gangadhar has not arrived even today. He may reach there tomorrow. I am so eager to see him. Iti, yours in service, Narendra. So at that time he is referring to him as Narendra. He is still not Swami Vivekananda. He is not signing like that. He is saying Narendra. So this is a very moving letter. I find that he is writing openly his feeling that how he is pained 4 years after Sri Ramakrishna passed away. He doesn't know how to get the money to create a memorial for his Guru and preserve his sacred relics, the ashes, and also create a place for the brother monks to stay and continue the spiritual practice and set out for the welfare of the society, the work given by Sri Ramakrishna. And his writings to a wealthy this man in Varanasi who is also a Sanskrit scholar and well-wisher, obviously. So there are a number of letters with Pramod Das Mitra. This one I found really very moving, so I thought of reading it and sharing it. I hope you enjoyed uh, listening to this, and if you do, please let me know in comments. And if you know any further details about this, that's something which can be added to this letter, anything that you have did in any other place, feel free to add in the comments. So with this, I'll end with a prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamayo Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamayo Mrityurmamitam Gamayo. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O God, lead us from the unreal to the real, from the darkness to the light, from the ephemeral and the transient to the permanent state. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.